Today, welcome to Future Forward, the Halloween edition.
We've got transformational Halloween tech.
And also trends in tech that are downright scary.
Plus a hit list of Halloween movies you just gotta see.
I'm Alexis Cordato, and this is Future Forward.
I am Stephen Rosenbaum. Let us launch. Hey, Alexa.
Hey, Steve. I can't believe we're doing Halloween.
I have a confession to make.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite holiday.
No. Okay.
Favorite holiday. And
I hate
it's
to
not even a
disappoint
close...
you. This is like my least favorite holiday.
Oh, well, we can see, and it'll be my goal in the next half hour to see if we can turn you around.
Okay. I'm game.
So we pulled... So first of all, I went searching for the greatest kind of changes in Halloween that have been driven by tech. And for those of you who are watching the pod, you'll see some great pictures. And for those of you listening, we'll describe them to you. Suffice it to say, a lot has changed in Halloween since I last had kids out wandering about.
Before we get into the actual show, quickly summarize. Why is your favorite holiday, and what was your best costume?
It's a performance holiday, and I am a lifelong performer. I love costumes. I love wearing them. I love making them. I've worked in a haunted house for a couple of years. Not my favorite gig, but it's just the whole, okay, and it's also like this weird moment in time where you have to figure out what's trending and what's popular. And it's like, no, please, not another Halloween costume from Squid Games, please. But no, I'm not going to be Donald Trump. I'm not going to be Joe Biden.
Do you like punny costumes, like a cereal box with knives and you're a serial killer?
No. I mean, I remember in college, I wanted to be some kind of vampire character, and I wanted my hair slicked back. And for reasons that will remain puzzling to my friends, I determined that the proper slicking back material was Elmer's glue.
Oh my gosh.
This was a terrible idea. This was a really
sounds horrible.
Idea. It was horrible, and it did not come out easily. But I also happen to be a deep-seated lover of LEDs in all of their incarnations. And so what I did not realize until I researched this pod was how much LEDs and Halloween have connected. Better to just dive in, and then the scary tech is actually genuinely scary, and we'll make sure we have time for that. So by the way, the first website is Channel Pro News at Channel Pro Network. And I should say it's one of those slideshows that's really terrible. Like the page is buggy, and I almost wasn't going to show it. But then it was like I hadn't really thought about LED printers as a Halloween costume making device. But of course, there are LED printer solutions. So there's like heads and various creatures. But the better stuff from this messy website are all of these LED environments. Because now all of a sudden you can turn your house and your hallway and all of these things into these LED colorful adventures, which I really, I think if I lived in the suburbs, I would be doing one of those outdoor lit houses.
I grew up in the suburbs of Long Island, and there's always that one house that is just like over the top, and they kind of go bigger every year. And yeah, I mean, Halloween decorations have come a long way.
And in fact, I'm going to show you one in a little bit that I actually, so the second slide from this Channel Pro network is motion sensors can leverage and improve haunted house experiences. Automation Manufacturer Control4 has posted about Scared Haunt, a fully automated haunted house that utilizes Control4 to control everything from fog machines, blood fountains, science labs, audio distribution, numerous IP cameras. Like, that would be my jam if I had a house in the suburbs. I would be that neighbor that annoyed the shit out of you. um, I don't know how you would do this. This idea of these Halloween costumes that are covered with LEDs. This is a popular mechanics. I did bring with me to show those of you who are watching. This is like just a little low-tech string of LEDs, which you can wear around your head. You can wear in your clothes. I have a lot of battery-powered LEDs.
Fun fact, if you go to Burning Man, you can see, it's not scary, but you can see a lot of LED wearables. And like there are a lot of very talented costume makers who sew LEDs into outfits and clothes, and it's kind of amazing.
So you're saying if I
You have to
want
go to, if you like LEDs, you should go to Burning Man.
All right, I'll discuss that with my significant other. I want this site does not play well. It doesn't click. I like this idea very much. The idea of a animatronic vortex tunnel. I think I would build one of these. If there's one somewhere in New York, I would go visit it.
Have you been to the haunted houses in New York? Is that like an annual thing that you do?
No. Although we are going to a haunted thing this next. I mean, Halloween happening on a Sunday is baffling on all kinds of levels because it essentially makes this Halloween, right?
Oh, yeah.
It starts this week and it runs Friday night. There's going to be Thursday night. There's going to be all kinds of out of hand festival drinking mess, and then Friday night, and then Saturday night, and then for the true Halloweeners among us, Sunday will be the day.
Mm-hmm. I did go to the parade every year, though. I lived in the city.
So I've never been to the parade.
What? Okay. How is it that Halloween's your favorite and it's my least favorite, and yet I've been to the parade like 10 times?
I don't know, actually. And that may change. I don't even know if it's Saturday or Sunday this week. I don't know.
It's usually Saturday. I think they do it the Saturday of Halloween weekend.
All right. Well, someone who's listening, just Google and let us know when the Halloween, and it's back this year. It is in person. Last year it was back. Canceled.
Yeah.
So the last slide of this collection, and then we'll move on to was an outdoor drone based Halloween where you could actually have the ghost floating around the yard. I find this
it's very creative.
Very creative and terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And fun. And if the children are wise enough to come to your suburban house with the ghost, then could you do a ghost with LEDs? I bet you could.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I did find something as we go forward that I may actually do on my apartment windows, and I'll show you what that is. So this is from nixplay.com. This is not as visual, but there's a whole list of tech Halloween costumes. I did, in my shopping for this year's Halloween costume, find there are now these digital masks you can wear, these LED masks in which you can use your iPhone to program it either with their predetermined character faces, or you can actually build your own animatronic LED character faces.
I've seen. Go ahead.
I was just about to order one.
Wow.
I was gonna push the button, and then in the comments section on Amazon it said doesn't work well with glasses.
No, womp womp.
I was like fail, total fail, because wearing a kooky costume and being blind, not fun.
I've seen so like I've seen a costume where you can like incorporate an iPad, and then it's just showing, like, it doesn't go to sleep, like a persistent image. And I just remember vividly, I think at the parade one year, seeing someone and it looked like their guts were like spilling out,
Mm.
and they use the screen of an old iPad to do that.
See, I'm all about that. If I had thought about that, I would have had an iPad. I might yet, I've got a week, so who knows? So then they're saying implement LED lights into your Halloween costume, creating a hat with flowing LED strips that turn you into a jellyfish, or use some wire to form light up fairy wigs. All the idea of LEDs and costume making I wonder if that's even, I bet that's like even a career. I bet there are LED.
Well, because there's definitely a niche of people who appreciate the craft, and maybe the money isn't even so much in selling the costume, but in teaching people how.
Yeah, I don't know if it's about the money. What's interesting about how Halloween has evolved since we were kids is, like, it's partly about being scary and partly about being political and partly about, for a certain crowd, kind of being sexual and risky. Like, it's got different flavors depending on which version of Halloween you want to participate in.
Yeah. It's always interesting to me, like, where on the spectrum of like conceal, like be something that you would never be, versus reveal, like really unleash a side of you that's there, but the world doesn't really get exposed to. Like, I feel like people usually take one flavor or the other.
The big Halloween store down on Lafayette, which is sadly now no more, it was a victim of COVID. Although I find that strange because it would seem like there's no shortage of NYU students who want costumes. But the adult section, which was usually kind of, partitioned off with a red velvet rope, was often quite risque.
Yeah. And I actually thought there was a market for that year round. So I was also surprised that they shut down.
But the clubs shut down as well. So it was a combination of no. Anyway, let's move on to this. By the way, I found a lot. There's a lot on the web.
You did your research. I was like, wow, Steve was into this week.
I was. Yeah, I did my research. So this is Tech R2. Technology is taking over Halloween. Spooky Halloween gadgets. From funny USB drives to cool phone accessories, tech gadgets are fun to look at and great conversation starters. Why not have one for all occasions, especially Halloween? Decorating your house with scary neighbors. Okay. So tech costumes. I mean, I guess, like, would anyone be Elon Musk? Would anyone be Jeff Bezos?
I could see a really good group costume of a bunch of nerds showing up to a Halloween party in the Valley.
I would think that Captain Kirk has had a resurgence this year.
Yeah, so Squid Games is probably like number one in terms of like trendy costume this year. I feel like maybe even like something related to COVID, the vaccine, the strain, a doctor, a nurse,
if you go on Amazon, it's desperately trying to sell you Squid Games masks and shirts and whatever that green and white jumpsuit is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Vans, the sneaker, actually sold out because of Squid Games. So it's wild.
But there's this window thing I wanted to show you. So now we're on design news. First and foremost, pumpkins. Huge LED pumpkin world, both in terms of being able to take a pumpkin and project onto it these super complex jack-o'-lantern shapes, but then also light them from the inside, obviously with LEDs. They also talk about rubber masks, and they say masks have gotten far more sophisticated than hard plastic shells held on by elastic bands. Yeah, okay. Mostly made in China and Mexico, silicone rubber masks of ghouls, ghosts, goblins, and political figures are the product of computer-aided design and precision molding.
And the political figures are usually like caricatures. Like, they're kind of like poking fun of the person.
So I've never worn a rubber mask to Halloween. And there's two reasons, just
They're
to be
hot.
blunt. One, they're uncomfortable, hot, a little scary, and you can't drink in them. Except like
Right.
through a straw.
Yeah.
So what's the point? I've never done, but I do like seeing them. There's a whole fake spider web technology component that spray fake cobwebs inside and out has become popular and quite easy as a Halloween decoration. Yeah, I don't know if that's particularly original, but sure, cobwebs. Halloween drones.
Mm-hmm.
This is an image of a witch drone.
It's like super niche though, because you need like a license to deploy a drone.
Well, you also need a license to do lots of things people don't have licenses.
Yeah.
I think I would break the law to fly my drone with a Halloween costume. I've also never. That's not true. I've occasionally dressed up my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They're good sports about it, but they think it's a little odd. And we've gone to like the dog.
Because you only dress them up on Halloween.
Well, yeah, only on Halloween.
It's not
and then
like
there's like
they're wearing sweaters and vests every day.
No. And then, Central Park has a big Halloween dog parade, which is actually quite charming.
So cute.
Glow sticks. Seems like it's not that original, but there is a whole glow stick.
Have they like advanced glow stick technology where it's like extended life? Because I feel like the average glow stick is maybe 8 to 12 hours max.
Well, that's
if you get a good one
for Halloween.
Yeah.
All right, and then they're saying 3D decoration printed. I'm not quite sure where you'd print them and how you get them in time. I don't understand why they put candy corn as an option here. I don't necessarily think candy corn. It is the only candy, maybe other than Easter, those little rabbit things that comes and goes. I mean, you would think that if candy corn were as delicious as people claim it is, that it would be around year round, but it really is not.
It's definitively bad. I will die on that hill.
It's definitively bad.
It's not tasty.
Yeah, it's basically just like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And then haunted houses, of course, which they're all, if you Google, New York is full of them. The problem is they all are pop-ups. So by the time you find it, if they're the good ones from the bad ones, they're gone. All right, let's get the scary tech. This is just the last. This is bestproducts.com, which is an indiscriminate website, but has picture after picture of what the big brands are doing. So Pillsbury is doing Halloween cookies. Krispy Kreme is doing Halloween donuts. Oreos is doing a spooky cookie graveyard kit. I'm not even sure what that means. Carvel has Hocus Pocus shakes, and Disney has a Nightmare Before Christmas ears. So there are lots of big brand Halloween things to do. All right, but the question that this is the last one. This is the last one. Scary scenes. Serious
I've
Halloween
seen a lot
fans.
of these driving around.
All right, well, you haven't seen any in New York, I bet, because it's not.
No, but suburbia, Westchester.
But Atmos FX sells MP4 files that you can play on a monitor or stick on a USB drive and play on your TV, but they work best with projectors. They can play ghostly apparitions, shambles, zombies, and many more things that go bump in the night. I happen to have a tiny little portable projector.
You can do this, Steve.
And I think I can do this. I don't know what Atmos FX is, but I will go and look. I bet there's also probably on YouTube a bunch of ghost loops.
Like the equivalent of like the Yule log.
Yes. Yep. And then I could just put a sheet on my window and project the ghost into it. And that I'm thinking that my apartment is going to have a ghost this year. This is exciting. This for me is worth the effort of preparing this podcast.
Maybe you can convince your doorman or the people your management company to let your lobby show some
the lobby
projector.
The lobby is already all decked out in pumpkins and straw and ghosts and bones.
Okay.
All right. So let's get to scary tech. So this is a Wired magazine article, or this is actually Discover magazine. It says there's more to technophobia than fear of technology.
So in like a random sampling of like over 1,000 people, the second largest fear bucket is technology.
What's the first? Snakes?
I don't know. I mean, you just said it in the article. It's the second most.
Well, I would say snakes or spiders. But there actually is some tech on the horizon that's genuinely scary. And so this is CanadianTechDad.com, which listed 6 unbelievably scary technologies your kids will grow up with. And they're not surprising, but they did give me a chill, I have to say.
Okay.
Number
Talked
1,
about this one last week.
Self-driving cars. Scary.
You're scared?
Scary tech. I mean, just the idea that we've talked about this, but it's like
we're scared right now, but we can get used to it.
Number 2, which we have not talked a lot about, but we should, deep fakes.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is the video here with the Tom Cruise deep fake is crazy. You would think it was really him.
Just a matter of time before somebody takes Alexa's face, puts it on a fake, deep fake body, records something objectionable about a person or a thing or politics or the world, puts it out on YouTube, and you spend the better part of a week batting it down saying, that's not me.
Well, this was a huge controversy with the Anthony Bourdain documentary. So obviously Anthony Bourdain passed away, but the filmmakers actually used deep fake technology, and the voiceover at the end of the film sounds like Anthony Bourdain, but he never said those words and recorded it and opted into the film. And his estate was very, very upset about it.
Yeah, I think as a scary thing, deep fakes is up there. Next, and I was a little surprised they put this on the list. Brain computer interfaces, BCI.
So we talked about this too with Elon. Yeah. I'm not scared of this. Are you?
I'm puzzled by it, but I wouldn't say I'm scared of it.
Again, I think the application of it is cool. Like people who, think about, I don't know, people who are like paralyzed or who have like speech impediments or something like that.
Okay, facial recognition, scary?
I think in the wrong hands, absolutely.
Wrong hands. Name a hand that would be wrong.
I don't know, like everybody. Yeah. But at the same, I say that, and yet I love global entry. And if I didn't have to like touch an icky finger pad that like 10,000 passengers also touched, and it was just like scanning me into the country, I guess I could be okay with that. It just depends.
So I went to a conference the other day, and in Googling around to write something about it, I found that there had been a live broadcast of Cheddar. And I vaguely remember a camera crew in the corner with some lights on talking to somebody. So I watched the video, and I'm wondering if I'm in the shot. And I'm thinking, if there was facial recognition, they would know that I had been, they could have actually made a list of all the people that, I don't know. I don't know why that comes to mind, but I was looking for my face. I did not find it. Computer bots. Yeah.
Depends, right? We talk about AI a lot. It depends.
Social credit. I don't exactly understand why they think this is scary. Canadians are already accustomed to credit checks. These systems score and track us and how we repay our debts. But this system is nowhere near a dystopian nightmare as what China already has in place.
It's like a Black Mirror episode. There's a Black Mirror episode about this where it's almost like everyone in society is rating you. We're getting there.
Yeah. And you get a better seat on the plane if you have a higher social standing.
Look at last week's Tesla episode. The better you drive, the lower your insurance rate.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So 2 more scary things. We're just about running out of time. Will.i.am says technology without regulations is scary as hell. This is from Yahoo Finance. Technology is amazing, he told Yahoo Finance. Technology with no regulations is scary as hell. Technology with no regulations and tech giants that are not held accountable for selling our data to foreign nations and anybody that wants to buy it and manipulate it and persuade us to do things we never would do in the first place should be forbidden.
So this article confused me, not so much like the content, but how did Will.i.am become like an authority in tech?
Well,
How is
and
he
to
the
be fair,
talking head about scary tech?
yeah, and this is and by the way, this article is a year old, so maybe he's changed his tune, but maybe not.
I think a lot of us would still feel this way. I don't know if we
Um,
can prevent it though, but
all right, I would nominate as the scariest name on this list Elon Musk, because he warned of a Terminator-like AI apocalypse, and now he's building a Tesla robot.
yeah, that the robot actually did scare me. It like made me think about Clone Wars. It made me think about basically every scary sci-fi movie where there's a robot that kills a person.
Did you see that there was a weird article this week about arming the dog robot from General Robotics, the Boston company?
No, I didn't see that.
Someone has built a remote accessible rifle, and the robot builder is like, we have nothing to do with the gun, and the gun builder is like, we have nothing to do with the robot. What it's just payload. They called it payload. Like, yeah, no, it's a gun, and it's a gun on a robot, and the U.S. military is absolutely researching that.
Yep.
All right. Let's do movies, because movies are fun and a good place for us to end this spooky podcast.
I'm the worst person to comment on this because I don't like scary movies and TV shows. Like, I'm a wuss. I used to get scared of the Nickelodeon show, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
All right, I'll go through. It's a long list and we're not gonna have time. This is from dreamhost.com, and it's their blog called Best Tech Horror Movies. So I'm not going to read them all because it's too long, but a just interesting list and a little bit surprising. Bride of Frankenstein, 1935, they say. Friend Without a Face, 1958. Then they go on to Reanimator, 1985, which I have to say I have never seen. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. Scanners, they like as a scary movie. And then they have a section called Tech Gone Awry. The Fly, 1986. Existence, 1999. Again, I haven't seen it.
With a Z.
Yeah, with a Z. Haven't seen it, but this will all be in the show notes. Pulse, 2001. The Den, Ghost in the Machine, 1993. How to Make a Monster, 2001. And then there's a collection of Robots Gone Bad movies. And I have to say, big ups for them for pulling as their very first Robot Gone Bad movie, Stepford Wives.
Okay.
A truly scary movie.
I should have pulled this before the show, but last year my brother sent this to me. They filmed a horror movie, and it was basically like Zoom, and there was like a seance and things happened to the different characters, but it was like very COVID. It was very like work from home. We're all on a screen talking to each other, and he screamed like 20 times because I heard him in the other room.
I think I remember the name of it, but I'm not going to guess. All right, so one or two more. Alien, 1979, classic. Chopping Mall, 1986. I have to say, I've never seen Chopping Mall. Don't suspect I'm going to race out and watch it. But the thing that this list reminded me of is how many other movies obviously we could put the Terminator on this list in 2 seconds. I mean, Robots Gone Awry, technology, wreaking havoc. I am now on season 1, episode 3 of Raised by Wolves.
My parents really liked that show. I watched the first few episodes. It's good.
I had no idea. I don't know how I didn't know about it, I don't know why all of my various algorithms didn't let me know that there's a movie about robots gone awry and religious fanatics, but it's
That's scary, but did you watch Dune?
Did not watch Dune.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
I have a feeling it really wants to be seen in theaters.
Yeah, but when are you gonna go to a theater and watch Dune? It's not showing in theaters, right?
No, it is. In
it
fact, the director is very upset because HBO premiered it in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. But I haven't seen the new James Bond movie yet either. So I don't know what. I mean, I'm doing in-person events.
You're like near one of the best theaters, two of the best theaters in the city.
I don't know why. It just seems like a bridge too far for a moment.
Okay.
I don't know. All right, folks. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear about your Halloween plans. We want pictures of your costumes. Scary, funny, punny. I'd never thought of punny costumes before. I will consider maybe going to the Halloween parade if it's Saturday. That would be fun. And Alexa, I'm sorry you can't join us, but I will send you. I will send you pictures.
Okay, I'll send you treats.
All right, we're out of time. See you next week.
Bye.